Right now in Washington, there is a huge bipartisan battle raging over one of the darkest scandals we've seen in a long time, the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. But, the fight isn't really about what he did. It's about what we still don't know and who might be hiding in the shadows. Okay, let's get into it. So, the latest move? The House Oversight Committee just dropped a massive trove of documents from the Department of Justice. We're talking nearly 34,000 pages. Now, on the surface, that sounds like a major step toward transparency, right? But as you're about to see, that huge number doesn't even begin to tell the whole story.
This document dump is really the opening shot in a brand new, high-stakes congressional investigation. You've got lawmakers on both sides of the aisle promising to finally uncover the full extent of Epstein's network, who helped him, and, this is the big one, any potential failures or even cover-ups by the U.S. government itself.
But almost the second these files were released, a massive conflict blew up. For a lot of lawmakers, and especially for the survivors of Epstein's abuse, this giant document dump feels more like a distraction than a real revelation. They're saying this is nowhere near the full, unvarnished truth they've been fighting for years.
So what are the actual problems here? Well, critics are pointing out that the pages are so heavily blacked out, they're practically useless. They're also worried that the information was handpicked by the very same Department of Justice that they don't trust. But here's the real kicker. Estimates suggest that 97% of this new information was already public, which is exactly why some are calling it a fig leaf. Something to make it look like you're being transparent without actually revealing a single new thing.
And to really get why there's so much distrust today, you have to look at this timeline. This fight is not new. It's been building for decades. All the way back in 1996, the FBI reportedly got a tip about Epstein and just ignored it. Then you have the infamous 2008 sweetheart plea deal, and of course his death in custody in 2019, which has poured gasoline on all the cover-up theories. All of that history is why there's so much skepticism about any government-led disclosure now.
So all of this deep-seated skepticism has led to a major standoff in Congress. You've basically got two competing strategies clashing over how to get to the truth. It's become a battle over not just what gets released, but how it gets released, and who gets to control the entire process.
Now, at the heart of one of these strategies is a pretty obscure political tool called a discharge petition. So what is it? Well, think of it as a way for the regular members of Congress to basically go over the heads of their own leadership. If a majority of the House signs this thing, they can force a vote on a bill that the people in charge might be trying to bury. It's rare, and it's a really powerful move.
Okay, so let's break down these two paths. On one side, you have the official Oversight Committee investigation. It uses the traditional tools, subpoenas, demanding documents from the DOJ and the Epstein estate. On the other side, you've got the discharge petition. Its supporters say it's the only way to guarantee that all government files get released, with zero filtering from anyone. Plus, it would force every single member of Congress to go on the record and show the public where they stand.
And as you can probably guess, this has created a really intense political standoff. There are reports that the White House is actively leaning on members of Congress, telling them not to sign the discharge petition, saying the official investigation is the better way to go. It just shows you how high the stakes are in this fight to control the narrative.
But let's just step back from all the political mechanics for a second, because at the absolute heart of this whole procedural fight are the people who have been waiting decades for justice. For them, this isn't about politics. It's a painful, deeply personal quest for the truth.
Bradley Edwards, who is an attorney for some of the survivors, he frames the government secrecy as a kind of second betrayal. He says corruption flourishes in secrecy, and for him and his clients, only total, complete transparency can even begin to make things right.
At a recent press conference, one survivor delivered this absolutely heartbreaking plea. It's just such a powerful pushback against anyone trying to claim this is all some political hoax, and it grounds the entire debate in the raw reality of human trauma.
And here, another survivor, Marina Lera, just captures this mix of complete exhaustion and total resolve. After years and years of being silenced, she and so many others are making one thing crystal clear. They are done, and they are not going to stop fighting for accountability.
So where does all this leave us? Well, we're at a really critical point. We've got a political logjam in Washington, and this fundamental fight over what accountability even means in this case and how to get it is more intense than it's ever been.
When you boil it all down, this entire battle really comes down to a few huge, lingering questions. Who are the powerful people who enabled Epstein for all those decades? Was there an active cover-up inside our own government? And will we, the public, ever get the full, complete picture? The flight logs, the financial records, all of it.
And that really brings us to the final biggest question of all. With Epstein dead and his main accomplice in prison, the path forward is anything but clear. In a scandal this old, this deep, with so much power involved and so much trust broken, what does true justice actually look like? Is it more prosecutions? Is it just pure, unfiltered transparency? Or is it something we haven't even figured out how to define yet? That's the question that's hanging over this entire fight.